Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. With Lloydminster under a state of local emergency and unable to start the phased reopening of businesses, the City of Lloydminster answered questions from the media in today's COVID-19 update.
We're here for the Thursday, May 7, 2020 COVID-19 update in the City of Lloydminster. We have 3 questions today from Primetime Local News. First question, is there any update on when Lloydminster may be able to reopen?
So yesterday on May 6th, we did hear from Dr. Shahab, who is the Government of Saskatchewan's Chief Medical Health Officer, during the daily press briefing from the province. Dr. Shahab indicated Lloydminster's reopening would be reevaluated later this week and into early next week. We understand everyone in our community is eager to transition to a new sense of normal, but we still ask for everyone's continued cooperation. Once we do have a timeline from the province, this information will be published on our website as well as on our social media channels. The URL for the city website is lloydminster.ca/COVID19.
And question 2, as Alberta and Saskatchewan continue to reopen and go along with their phased reopening plan, has there been any confusion with businesses in Lloydminster, being that we are a border city?
So yes, there has been confusion in our community. Over the past week, there has been a lot of information released by both of our provinces regarding their respective reopening plans. This information is on top of what the city is releasing on how COVID-19 affects our community at the local level and under a state of local emergency. We have heard from our business community who do want to reopen their doors when it is safe, and we have heard from others who want to resume operations under Alberta's reopen plans. I do want to take this time just to remind the residents and business owners that the city is still under a state of local emergency, and all measures and orders under that declaration apply to our whole community.
And question 3, with the warmer temperatures and surrounding communities starting to reopen, has there been any more infractions under the public health orders within the City of Lloydminster?
So I have been in communication with the Lloydminster RCMP. They have continued to receive and respond to complaints of the public health order infractions. The city as well as the RCMP recognize that with the warmer weather, people want to be outside in and around the community. Just in doing so, residents and businesses need to ensure they continue to comply with the public health orders and the state of local emergency. When appropriate, our approach remains still to be education and awareness, but enforcement means are there.
Well, I'm very pleased to be joined with Kim Kroll-Goodwin, who is the manager of events for STARS Ambulance out in Saskatoon. So Kim, first off, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Now, you have a big event coming up tomorrow, actually, to be exact, on May 8th. Talk about what the event is.
Yeah, so we're hosting our first ever online virtual concert called Streaming for Stars, and it is our first cross-provincial fundraiser in support of stars in all 3 provinces.
Now, you have some big names coming up. Just to list a few here, you know, we've actually talked to a few of these guys. Brett Kissel, Aaron Goodvin, Aaron Perchette, Gord Bamford. You know, what was their reaction when you reached out to them and to the other people that are going to be involved as well? And were they excited to come on board and do this for you guys?
Yeah, so a lot of these, you know, the hottest country artists in Canada here, they have been star supporters for many years. George Canyon, Gord Bamford, Aaron Perchette, Brett Kissel, the Hunter brothers, they've all done fundraisers for us in the past. So of course, when we asked them, they were more than happy to jump on board and support and donate their time to do this. So, you know, honestly, we can't thank them enough, and their agents as well for making this happen for us.
Now, for those that aren't familiar with STARS, can you just give us a little bit of insight into what they do?
Yeah, so, you know, we're in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Alberta. We've been around a long time. So we carry the critically ill and injured patients. and get them to the care that they need in the 3 provinces. You know, we are busy. Between the 3 provinces, we average about 8 missions a day.
Now, where does all the fundraising, the money go towards at the end?
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, this is our first cross-provincial fundraiser, and so all the 100% of the dollars that will be donated tomorrow night are going straight to support our operations in Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Manitoba.
Now, what made you guys decide to create this? I know it's the first ever, but what made you decide to create the first online concert here for you?
Yeah, so I mean, like many other nonprofits and organizations, we're having to cancel and postpone all of our fundraising efforts in spring, the summer, and into the fall. And so those are crucial dollars that we need to still raise to support STARS. So we decided to take it online and see what would happen. And you know, the support has just been incredible by the community and, of course, the country industry. So we are just honestly so thrilled already.
And just lastly, you know, like I mentioned, it is tomorrow, May 8th. Where can people view it or listen to the concert if they want to?
Yeah, so you can go to streamingforstars.ca and you can click to donate there to watch it there as well. It is also going to be aired on the radio on Jim Pattison Broadcasting across on 14 of their stations across Western Canada, so you can listen to it on the radio there as well. And then, of course, you can watch it on the STARS Facebook page.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was just going to say you can also click to donate, so you can text STARS to 45678 and to donate $20 at a time.
Awesome. Well, Kim, I really appreciate your time, taking the time to chat with me today. So thank you very much and hope everything goes well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
I'm joined here with Bob Allen, Heather Rentz, and Ketchenheim, and they are with Buffalo Trails Public School out of Wainwright. And now your school division recently announced you will be opening up your K-12 resources to all Alberta students. So what really went into this decision?
I think that we started this work a while ago. It wasn't certainly COVID related. It was about our ability to be able to provide an online learning management system for students that really helped us to connect with them when they maybe were not at school, or maybe we were looking for alternate delivery possibilities. So it was just really some work about changing the way that teaching could possibly occur, where students could access information from their homes or from other spaces.
And why did you feel it was really beneficial to offer this at this time?
We've been working with HOBRA since 2015, and we've been delivering online content for a very long time. But with the COVID crisis that came about in March, we had many more people jump on board. And so we have had the importance of online learning in Buffalo Trail for a long time, but now the need is here and we have the method to deliver.
And how will the process really work for the students?
Students can access their learning content from a device connected to the internet, and they do so by visiting mystudentdashboard.com, and that's where they can find all of their learning content shared with them from their different teachers. And so it's really an easy way for students to access learning from anywhere, as long as they've got an internet connection.
And what are some examples of some of the content that is available?
Right now, HOBRA has a public workspace gallery, and there are 11,000 workspaces. And what a workspace is a place where teachers can create content to deliver digital learning for their students. So the content ranges anything from information for kindergarten all the way to grade 12 classes. It's all content, and it's from contributors all around the world.
Imagine what that's going to happen as this grows, and the amount of content that's going to be available, not just for students, but for teachers to be able to access information that other teachers have put together and built to be able to be a resource. So it's going to expand the resources and opportunities for teachers to be able to provide learning experiences for students online.
And have you heard any feedback so far?
I guess we have worked with Opera for quite a while, and we've had tremendous feedback from students and teachers who are using it in terms of the ability to access information and the ease with which they can send and receive information. It doesn't limit the learning to what happens in the classroom during the normal school day. So we can receive a great deal of positive feedback that way. Students also don't skip a beat if they for some reason have to be away from school for a day, because if they're in that format, they can actually go online and find out, okay, what happened today, and what was the work that needed to be done, and here I go, and I don't miss any of that important content delivery as well, because they're getting the same thing as their classmates do. One of the things, of course, is they don't have that interaction directly with the teacher.
Now, your school division really utilizes this program a lot. Why do you feel it's really important to have this type of program for these students?
It helps to create opportunities for our students to learn in an online environment. So if you take our younger learners, for example, the web is intimidating, it's difficult to access, it's difficult for them to navigate and manage as a teacher. And so with a learning management system like Hopra, it's a place for kids to go and start from. It's a way for the teacher to communicate and deliver learning in an online way that's easy for kids to access and for teachers to manage in the classroom.
I think it's important to understand that while Buffalo Trail is really a significant part of this process, we also have other school divisions in Alberta who are participating. We have Livingston Range School Division and Horizon School Division and Wolf Creek School Division, so that's 3 others. As well, we're even seeing other areas of the country like Ottawa Catholic who are contributing to this. And I think that if you think of the power of all those teachers adding content, the variety of information that's going to be available is going to be amazing, but also the ability for people to both add and draw builds this sharing piece, builds this sense of community. So I think that's really important.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and this is a really great program that you guys are offering.
Well, thank you very much. We're very proud of it and can't wait to see how it evolves and grows through time.
Thank you.
I'm joined today by Jeff Brown, the Associate Dean of Agricultural Sciences at Lakeland College. Thank you so much for taking the time with me today. Now, obviously, agriculture is a very hands-on program at Lakeland. So just tell me about the transition that you guys had to make over to the online side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got 4 different programs at the college in Ag Sciences that we had to kind of, I guess the word is pivot, that everybody would be using. So the announcement came out over the weekend, and we had been talking to, actually I was talking to our IT director just shortly before that, and he talked about the possibility of going all online. And of course I thought, well, little old Vermilion, I doubt that'll likely happen, but the announcement came out, and all of our programs were able to shift to a full online delivery in about 3 days, which was amazing to me, just given the hands-on component of everything we're doing there. So it was kind of a testament. There's a lot of things that had to fall in place. Our instructors, I think, did a really great job of kind of adapting their material to an online format. Also, just all the technology that is out there that we actually weren't sure whether it was going to fully work at the scale that we were going to be using it. And so that was a good surprise, I would say. One of the things that probably helped with all of that is that because of the short notice, the Alberta government had put out a pretty strong mandate that they really wanted us to pare down our curriculum to kind of the core essential competencies that our students were going to need. And so the instructors kept that in mind. So they maybe didn't get the full meal deal in terms of what they would have achieved, obviously, in a face-to-face format. But the lucky thing that it was only the last month of classes. So a lot of the major competencies have already been done. So it was really a matter of just taking a look at your course and saying, what do these students really need? and then just trying to focus on student success to make sure that everybody was able to get through in an online format. So,
and now obviously another one of your guys' big events is your Beef Day sale, and that was obviously had to be pushed online. So take me through the process of getting a big event like that all together online format.
yeah, well, it was really it was a quick shift again because of course the announcement I think was on the 15th, and the Beef Day sale was slated to be on the 20th. So we only had a few days to kind of get it together, and really the plans were all in place for you know, as we would normally out in the riding arena, you know, having a live sale and having all the animals fitted and all that. So when the announcement came out that it would be online, there was actually quite a bit of discussion between our faculty, and then talking to our senior leadership team in as terms of what we were able to do, because at that point we could have a few people in the room, but social distancing in effect, of course. And then I think at that time, originally it was, oh man, I think now what the original number was. It was gatherings under, was it, oh man, 100 or something like that. I can't remember just off the top of my head, but so things were kind of changing. And then by the time the sale was actually coming, there was basically a thought that we wouldn't be able to have it because we had to still have students and instructors there. And at that time, it was really just essential services we were rolling back to. So we were able to kind of negotiate with some strict protocols in place. I think there's 3 or 4 students in there and a few instructors. Of course, they were in a room scattered apart with lots of space between everybody. And then we just worked with DLMS, an online livestock sale platform, to broadcast our sale online. And I guess the other really big portion of that success was just the fact that our students in the Student Managed Farm purebred team did a lot of pre-calling ahead of that date and tried to tour some of the producers of the bulls in person before that event. And so those people knew what they were buying when they came to the sale. So the end result was a sale that was actually topped last year's sale, which we're really thankful to all the supporters for that Beef Day sale. The support of our students was really great through that event. So.
That's great to hear for sure. And now, obviously, again, we're not really sure how long this is going to last. So are there any preparations being made in case this does have to continue to look forward here onto the online classes?
You know, it was something we were kind of hoping it was going to be a, you know, maybe a small chance that we're delivering online. So just put some thought into your classes and how you would deliver it. And as we're getting closer, I think it's getting a lot more real. And you know, we've had direction from our leadership to get a written plan in place for every program. I mean, there's a lot of things that are being considered. We really don't know what it's going to look like in September right now. So I think we're talking about everything from, okay, well, if we had to pare down to a minimum of, you know, maybe 15 people in one spot, how could we deliver these competencies that are really important to the program? And maybe we stagger students coming on campus, or, you know, there has even been some talk about adjusting the semester dates. So I think everything's on the table. The word is really about reimagining our programs if we did have to go to an online format. And I think a lot of people think it's either online or it's hands-on. If you look at some of the futuristic stuff in delivery of programs, there's quite a big future, I think, in some of the blended delivery options. So we're kind of viewing this as an opportunity to kind of learn from the situation we're in and kind of rethink our entire program delivery. Not saying that we would ever go back to this if things go back to normal and the restrictions are lifted, but definitely taking a look at what we do, and it's an opportunity to maybe rethink some of the things that have happened just because they've happened that way for years.
All right. Well, very glad to hear about the success you guys have had so far online, and thank you so much for taking the time with me today.
This Ag Report is brought to you by the Lloydminster Co-op Agro Center. Depend on them for product, tools, and expert advice. Shop at your local Lloyd Co-op Agro Center with branch locations in Lashburn and Neilburg.
Today, I'm happy to be joined here with Sarah Dauphinais with Celebration Yard Signs. Now, I found this on Facebook and I thought it was so interesting and the pictures look so fun. Tell me a little bit about what Celebration Yard Signs is and what you offer and how it kind of became what it is today.
Well, my husband and I started this little side hustle about 4 years ago. We started with one sign that my husband uh, made with wood from scratch, and that was a birthday celebration sign. And over the years, we've just been advertising a little bit of it on Facebook, and we've had some interest. But now that this pandemic has hit, people are looking for different ways to celebrate their loved ones without actually being with them. And since then, we've added on to our sign options. So we mostly have birthday options, but we also have birth announcements, and we're looking into getting anniversary signs at some point. And yeah, so we're just keeping adding on to our options that are available, and it's for all ages, kids and adults. So it's going well.
And that sounds amazing. And that kind of leads into my next question of how business has been since the pandemic started. How people have obviously been reaching out to you a lot more. Tell me just a little bit about that and how it's been so far since the outbreak did start.
Sure, yeah. So we've had a lot of people either private message us or seen our posts on Facebook or word of mouth, and they said, or they were saying, we can't celebrate with our child or our loved one, and we would love to be able to still show them that we're there to celebrate with them. And that's the thing we're really enjoying about this, my husband and I, because we have 2 kids of our own, and my daughter hasn't been able, she's not gonna be able to have her birthday party that she wanted this year, which is in a couple weeks. So this is a great way for us to still be a part of everyone's special day.
Exactly. So tell me just a little bit about the process of setting up, getting what people want, making sure that that you're putting out the signs that people want. What is kind of the process that you and your husband go through?
So we have the options listed on our Facebook page, which is Celebration Yard Signs, and we have the prices as well beside them, and then we confirm which booking they want. And if it's not booked, we typically will set up before 8 a.m. because we try to get the person who's having the birthday to get that surprise. And we generally keep up for 12 hours. Because it's lighter out longer, we can keep them up longer. So the birthday person gets to enjoy it that much more and take pictures, and yeah.
And especially during this time, because of the social distancing, and not everyone has been lucky enough to be able to spend those kind of celebrations with their loved ones. Why is this kind of important and to have for them? And what has kind of been the reaction from people that you've helped out, that you've given signs to, and all that kind of stuff?
But going back to what I said, it's been the comments we've getting for some of the signs that have booked from some of the children. The parents have been so grateful and so thankful that even though the children can't have the birthday party they've hoped for or planned for, this is just a special way that they can still enjoy that day. So the response has been fantastic.
And where can people find more information, and kind of what is the time? Are you super busy or booked up, or kind of when can people book in? Is there a long waiting list, something kind of like that?
So depending on the sign you're wanting, I mean, the bookings right now are pretty sporadic. We are already booking into July, but if you are inquiring about a specific sign, we will let you know if it's available. And you can see all our options on our Facebook page at Celebration Yard Signs. We're also on Instagram at celebration_yard signs. And then you can also phone us directly at 306-307-8700. And so, yeah, the wait time, depending on the sign, it varies, but our messaging system is always open to take messages at any time. So yeah.
All right, well, that's perfect, and that's a fun way to celebrate, especially during this time, just to showcase that. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me, and hopefully people are a little bit more cheerier with your signs on their lawn and stuff, celebrating their birthdays.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, it's been fun setting them up. Like I said, we've had a lot of positive feedback, and we're excited to keep doing this.
And that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Joining me today is the co-commissioner of the NSRBL, Kevin Collier. Kelvin, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks, Evan, for the opportunity to get together and talk about the NSRBL.
Now, Kelvin, about a month ago, you guys had your managers meeting, and you were saying that the 2020 season was still a go. What about now? Have things changed at all?
Since the government has put out their plan to reopen, I mean, we're still hopeful. Again, we got the first two dates of when businesses are going to start to open. I think for baseball in Saskatchewan, we're looking in that stage 4 area. So, it's all going to depend. I know that we'll be taking our cues from the provincial government and from the Saskatchewan Health Authority and Saskatchewan Baseball Association and Baseball Canada as to when we can get going. Again, I'm kind of blue sky here and looking at maybe 2-week windows of opportunity after each of those stages is open. And so if that is the case, we're still kind of sort of on schedule for a July 1st start. But again, we all know with this with the COVID-19 that we really aren't sure of much.
Now, Kelvin, are you guys worried at all that phases 1 through 3 will take longer than expected, and there will be a push date that July 1st will not be the starting date for you guys?
We're just going to rely on the experts to let us know when that is, and not to try and judge. And again, we're just going to remain hopeful that July 1st is still a possibility. I know the Saskatchewan Baseball Association as well is hopeful that things are going to get rolling here in late June and July. So we're just going to go with that. And it's all we can do at this time. I mean, the guys want to get out on the diamond. They want to play. It's a sport that they love. And the other thing too, I think that's really important is not only this year, especially with the economic downturn up in the Northwest. A lot of guys that play in the league are attached to to the oil patch, and a lot of their and a lot of the spin-off industries are also tied to that industry as well. And so it just gives them an opportunity to get their minds away from maybe some of those harder issues in life that are much greater than sport. So they want to get out there and they want to play, and they want to play a game that they love. And so we're going to try and do our very best to provide that opportunity as much as we possibly can.
Now, Kelvin, baseball is a sport where you're almost naturally socially distanced, right, with the outfield and whatnot. Is there any other extra precautions that the league is going to take?
You know what? We're going to take our cue from Saskatchewan Baseball Association. Just like when you look at the golf opening up of the golf courses here in the province, the plan called for some specific actions that had to be taken by golf clubs. I'm hoping that there's some direction given to us. At the same time, I know that if we're in that level 4 opening, the province is going to be in a much better place than it is right now for golfing. So hopefully the restrictions aren't going to be all that intrusive. You're right. I mean, baseball, there is lots of social distancing. There is some opportunities that are close, right? Whether it's at the plate or on the bases. So we'll take our cues from the health authority of the province and the Saskatchewan Baseball Association.
Well, Kelvin, I appreciate you taking this time and talking with me. This was Kelvin Collier, co-commissioner of the NSRBL.